Hey fam, welcome back to my channel. Happy December. For those of you who are looking forward to a lovely, lovely time over Christmas, I am looking forward to it too. I am super excited. It's the end of the year. Of course, it's that time of the year also. We get to reflect on where has the year gone. Like, oh my gosh, it's almost 2024. But I'm also super excited for yet another opportunity to conquer another great year. So this Vlogmas, I will essentially be covering all those videos I didn't manage to get to during the year. Because this year I did say that I did set out to essentially produce content back to back. And I did have the momentum, but I kind of lost it. But this December, you will be seeing a lot of content. And you know, I'm the certification queen. So, I mean, is there content if I'm not talking about my latest certification? So, yeah, in the next batch of videos, you will see about my latest certification on Agile Project Management that I did in November. So I actually covered it. I took a week out of work, thanks to my employer. It was fully sponsored by my employer. And I got to achieve two certifications. That's Agile Project Management Foundation and Agile Project Management Practitioner. I loved every bit of that course, and I want to definitely take you through all the detail, all you need to know. And today's video is just an initial video because I didn't want to jump straight into what you can expect on the exam. What is it? What are the resources you need to prepare for the exam without pitching to you why you should do a project management certification and why you should do the Agile Project Management certification. Heads up, this is not sponsored. This is purely a fully satisfied candidate and qualified practitioner speaking to you. And yeah, we can get started. So, the reason, for those of you who've actually checked out my certification journey, you'll see that earlier in the year, and maybe off the back of my previous certification video, I did mention that one of the key certifications I want to get this year is project management. So I had started my cloud survey journey. Those of you who have been with me from the beginning know I did ACCA. So I started out doing ACCA. Then I did my CISA. Then I started my cloud journey. I started off with AWS, cloud practitioner. Then I did more recently, literally a month ago, I did the Azure fundamentals. And I felt I was now ready to do my project management. So, project management, there are two key project management approaches. That's waterfall and agile. So, waterfall being the traditional project management approach where you do things sequentially. So, you go through a very clear and structured, stage gated type of approach. And after each phase, once it's signed off, you start the next one. Then Agile is a more recent, though it's not that recent, makes you think it's in the last 5 years. It's actually been there for a while, but it definitely has been picked up more by organizations, by entities, especially the focus on technology, because it's the key driver for software development. A lot of developers and organizations that basically produce software follow an agile approach just because of the need for quick turnaround. And essentially, it is here with us and it's here to stay. And there are basically many benefits for Agile. So I had to choose when I'm deciding I'm going to do a project management certification. I did a bit of research. Do I want a certification focused on the traditional approach, which is still here and it is here to stay too? There are benefits to that approach too, and or agile. So I decided to do an agile project management certification. I actually chose the one for DSDM. So they are, you say a framework. They have a framework of how to essentially project manage agile type of projects. So I decided to go with that framework. Before I even go into why I selected the DSDM approach, because there are other methodologies to agile methodologies. I chose agile in general because I'm in the field of transformation. So I work a lot with clients who are going through big digital transformation. And a lot of it is centered around software development. Now, I'm not a software developer. I am not in any technical team. I am part and parcel of the team supporting the digital change. So always interacting with the business to understand. So a bit of a BA role, understanding their requirements, but then also a bit of business change. So if we know there's a big go live coming soon, making sure the teams are ready, have they done their capacity, resource planning, capacity analysis, resource planning? Do they have the right models in place in terms of even governance or reporting that's needed? Do they, so that's the, I look more at the operating model, especially sent wrapping around a product, a digital product that's going live. So with that in mind, it only made sense that given I'm already in that agile type of environment, that I do an agile project management certification. It would be directly relevant to my day to day. And honestly, that's where a lot of organizations are headed. A lot of organizations are moving from the traditional, this is the business part of the organization, and this is IT, and they're separate. Here and there, there's ways they communicate with each other, but they are very distinct and separate. Now there's a lot more product-based model where business and IT are essentially one. It's centered around whatever brings the business value. So, for example, if it's Amazon, their main product is their e-commerce platform. So the business that looks at getting customers in and the marketing or whatever, and the IT that essentially takes care of the platform are one and the same. Like they are part of the same team directly, have channels that directly integrate with each other, and then they're not looked at as IT that just generally takes care of the whole IT of the enterprise, but rather this IT team is part and parcel of the product. I know that's a whole, I've probably gone on a whole different trajectory, but I hope that makes sense. The reason why I decided to go for Agile Project Management is because I'm in an Agile environment. I also decided to go for the DSDM framework just because it still maintained the project management feel of things. So a lot of agile methodologies, especially Scrum. So Scrum methodology essentially is very like, it's take out all this bureaucracy, take it all out. We're going to focus on doing and turning around things, which is super important. But is that how our clients really work? Now, if you're a developer, yes, that's probably how it works for you in your day-to-day user story. Pick it up, this sprint, we're doing this many, there's a clear flow of things. But from a transformation perspective, things are still run from a project perspective where a clear budget is cut out. This transformation is going to take this temporary period of time for the next, 3-5 years. And this is the objective of the project, and it's signed off, and things are run, and still there are stakeholders who for that period of time need to be informed regularly on the progress of things. So trying to marry the two where people are trying to be agile and removing bureaucracy, but they still this persisting bureaucracy due to things still being handled from a project perspective, and DSDM recognizes that. So it still recognizes that things are agile, but also recognizes the need for project management, and it's able to marry the two and essentially propose a tried and tested way methodology of combining those two. So yeah, that's the long story of why I think DSDM is super, super important for you to do if you're a project manager or you have some sort of project manager role, when you're in a transformation type of role and you want to be able to incorporate agile way of working into your project. So yeah, in terms of length of how things worked out for me, I will talk about the detail of what you can expect in terms of exams for both foundation and practitioner, but high level, I can touch on it on this video. So I took a week out, studied for 2 days. It was classroom training, thanks to my employer. Most of my certifications are usually self-studied, but this one was classroom training. And I must say, classroom is so much easier. So if you can afford or you'll have the opportunity basically available for you to do classroom, take it. But the only thing I try and promote in this channel is if you don't have that option or it's just not sustainable for you, you can still get it. Don't use it as an obstacle and be like, well, until I can afford a class is when I'll get my certification. No, I am proof. There's proof in the pudding that you can get a certification. I did ACCA. CCA is hard. 13 papers, and I did it all by myself. But yeah, in terms of Agile Project Management Foundation and Practitioner, it was classroom, 2 days of class, and then on the evening of the second day, I did my foundation exams. Imagine, in 2 days, we were done with that. And then another 2 days of classroom. And then on the third day, so this one, it wasn't on the evening of the second day. On the third day is when we did the practitioner exam. So if you look at it from a Monday to Friday, Monday, Tuesday evening, I had my foundation exam. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is when I had my practitioner exam. And I won't lie, it worked out really well. I don't think it needs to take longer than that. Of course, it might take longer for you if you don't have the background. For me, a lot of the things, because I do it day to day in terms of there's some level of project management I do day to day, it wasn't new. So a lot of the concepts were clicking. It's just that you realize, actually, some of the things we do, is there even use in it? Because a lot of things you learn when you're doing the agile project management is that some of the things we do them, but we actually, why are we doing them? Like these progress reports, weekly progress reports, documenting. And if you're a consultant or you're on a project, you know how painful it is when you are so busy, but there's this bloody progress report that needs to be done by Friday end of day, and it takes so much time to even just get that report together. So some of those things you get to challenge, and you actually think, actually, why am I doing it? Why can't we just have, do people even read that progress report? Let's even start there. Sometimes even carry on what was there last week and you just tweak two sentences. Who reads the progress report? So it was very refreshing to look at things with a new pair of eyes, basically new perspective, new lens to things. And I super promote it. I came back to my project with a bang. I was telling my manager that, you know what, we need to switch things up. Of course, I had to balance it with delivering because there's change takes time, takes effort, and there's need to also still hit deadlines. So it doesn't happen right away. But yes, I feel like I have a fresh um lease of life when it comes to how I do things on my project. But yeah, that's the long-winded way of trying to convince you to do a project management certification. And if you can do agile project management, I super, super support and promote it. And it's quite easy to get also. But yeah, let me know questions you have on this certification, or if you've done an alternative one that you also recommend. Because at the end of the day, you just need to have something on project management. It's very marketable. You might as well do the one that's relevant to your current work environment. But it's always good to have some project management skills, even just for your own, managing your workload, managing your priorities. It always goes a long way in setting you apart from everyone else. All right. Cheers, everyone. Bye.